Let me know when you're ready.
We're all good.
I'm ready.
All right, we're good. All right, Lyndon, hit the first pose. Do you remember the first pose? Okay, so we're going to do some 30 seconds, some quick 30-second gestures. And today, what I want to emphasize most of all is working quickly on your gestures. All right, next gesture.
Is it?
It was to stretch to the foot extended in that direction.
Gotcha.
Very good. And in your very first couple of seconds of your gesture, you should try to get the hold. So that's about 15 seconds. Now we're into the last 15 seconds of the gesture. Okay, and pose, Lyndon. Don't start the next pose yet. So on that pose right there, I began with more of a mass gesture kind of effect. And there are some things that are good. I love the overall just flow and the gesture of it. But there's some problems with I'm not quite communicating how this foot is going back quite right. So I could come back into it and maybe try to put that heel a little bit further back, bring that heel more forward, and that actually helps that quite a bit. And then I'd also probably do that. Okay, I will do one more 30-second gesture and then we'll move on to the long pose. Okay, Lyndon, what was the last 30 seconds? Oh, it was the kneeling one.
Face this way?
Either direction. Okay, once again, I'm going to switch to Conte for this one. And I'm mostly just changing materials to demonstrate how it might look different. And so once again, although I kind of broke the rule myself, but try in the very first couple of seconds to really get a feel for the whole thing. Remember that the most important thing to record in a gesture drawing is your understanding of the gesture of the pose. A gesture drawing should be both a record of your gesture, the gesture of you making the drawing, and a record of the gesture that the model is making. Hopefully those two things kind of come together. I think we went a little bit longer than 30 seconds on this one, but it's coming along kind of nicely, so I'm going to keep working on it. Lennon said earlier today that I should do a drawing where I just focus on the hair. I don't know what I think about that. That's a crazy idea. And I'm going to change the orientation of the foot a little bit right there. Okay, and end pose. All right. And so on this one, pay attention to how important kind of thinking about the plane of the ground is really to getting that to work right. If I had more time, I might spend more time figuring out about the relationship between these two arms and that structure, where the elbows are in relation to each other, things like that. But there you go, 30 seconds. And so also notice the slight difference in flow from the one I did where I was only using Vine. It's much faster for the two that I only use Vine versus the one where I'm using the Conte. Goes a little bit slower and encourages the drawing to kind of change in character because of that. But one of the advantages of working in Conte is that it's more permanent, so you can build up and make a definite more dark mark. Okay, we're going to start the long pose. Our timer says we have about another minute or two left. Okay, so we're going to do a beach pose. Those of you who are in my figure drawing class, rotate a little bit more. Perfect, just like that. Those of you in my drawing class know what we mean when we say the beach pose. But for those of you who are watching who are not in my figure drawing class, we mean some different poses that are all kind of based on this structure where the figure is very wedge shaped. It's all about geometry. And you notice that initially most of my lines are about space and geometry. And so this is going to be maybe a 10-minute or a 15-minute sort of drawing. So one of the things you might have noticed right away was that I made a major shift and change early on in the drawing because I realized I wasn't giving myself enough room for the full head. That's timer. So we'll give ourselves about another minute for me to wrap up this beginning stages of this.
Dad, do you want me to shut off the timer?
No, I don't mind. I'm working in Vine right now. So one of the things to figure out is the plane of where that hand touches the ground plane compared to where it relates to the geometry of the other parts. Okay, I think we can end there and then we'll start up again with the drawing a little bit.